Sandra Bullock's run-in with a guy who broke into her house, the guy who ended up standing right at her door in the middle of the night,
oh, boy, this is amazing.
was terrifying as it was. And there is now new information about this guy that actually makes it more terrifying.
Her lawyer, Ed McPherson, ran to court today because, remember, this guy, his name is Joshua
Corbett.
Joshua Corbett. He got 5 years probation. He didn't get jail time. He's in an inpatient facility right now.
We talked about this just last week, I think.
But what we didn't know until today, when McPherson filed these documents, was that when he broke into Sandra's house, got up to her bedroom door, she opened it and saw him face to face. It appears, based on the evidence the cops found, that his mission was to sexually assault her.
Yeah, Harv, they found a notebook that he was carrying with him on the night of the intrusion, and in that notebook were a lot of lurid and sexual acts listed, and included in there specific intent to sexually assault her. Pretty scary stuff.
And a lot of, like, you know, very, like you said, the lurid acts. They also raided his home, Jason, and they found how many guns?
They found, I believe it was 24 different firearms, as well as thousands of rounds of ammunition, all sorts of scopes and other paraphernalia.
So here's what, again, we talked about this last week when he got probation. They decided he was not going to be put in jail or prison, and just got 5 years probation.
He got 5 years probation, but he was ordered to get treatment at an inpatient facility. Now, Jason, my recollection too from these documents that we just got, that the cops say that he was diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia?
Yeah, that's right. They didn't cite to a doctor, so I don't know if that was their assumption or if it was actually based on a doctor's recommendation, but he was, I guess they said, did they say that he was actually put in for inpatient bipolar schizophrenia? So it must have been a doctor's analysis.
Yeah, I mean, I would figure
Once
that
he
there was
went
a
into
doctor
custody,
involved,
I think a doctor evaluated him.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
It used to be that, look, you could send someone to prison, there are mental health facilities that are essentially prison.
Generally deficient. And generally prison is not, it's like, look, I mean, there's this whole thing going.
Now you have sent a guy who police have evidence that this guy had the intent to sexually assault Sandra Bullock, and now he's going to be free on the street. I know what you said, that because of probation, he has to check in.
Well, not just that. That you talk to criminal defense lawyers who represent a lot of these celebrities who get stalked, and a lot of these people are bipolar, and if they take their meds, most of them pose no danger. The key is when they go off the meds. So at least here, you have a probation officer who can monitor whether he's taking meds. You've got an inpatient facility.
I'm sorry, to me, that's not safe enough. Did it say in the documents, does he have to wear an ankle bracelet? Does he have to wear a GPS?
I don't believe he does.
Didn't say so in the documents we read today.
And I don't think it did as a condition for probation. Look, I know what you're saying. It is a scary situation. But for Sandra Bullock, I have never seen anything like this where somebody literally comes in with a manual to sexually assault the victim. Right. So you remember there was a 911 call by her where she was just panicked. You get it. I mean, she didn't know about the notebook at the time, but my God, when you really figure out what happened here, it is just frightening.
Hi, my name is Tiana Evans from Philly. I think he should have gotten more time. I understand he has, like, you know, a mental problem, but he knew exactly what he planned out to do. So I think he should have gotten more time, and I think they need to reevaluate everything. So
more time? He should have gotten some time. He didn't get any time in jail.
So here's the other side of it. Do you punish somebody for a mental illness?
I hear what you're saying, but
I mean, it is.
And I'm not saying that you put him in a regular prison.
But do you punish for mental illness? That's the question.
But the punishment is being locked up at a place to get treatment.
Well, that's inpatient. That's inpatient treatment too. Make sure to subscribe to TMZ Live to keep up to date on the latest entertainment news.
And if you want to keep watching, click on one of these videos right now.